Hello, my friends, and welcome to Fishery. I'm Alexander Williamson, and today I need to get something off of my chest. Yes, so I have seen just an explosion of videos, a new wave of fish keepers in a new realm, and that is essentially the TikTok realm and the short content realm. And here's how the video goes. Oh my gosh, I'm in Walmart, I'm in Petco, I'm in a boot, and look at how these monsters are treating these bettas. They're in a little cup. Okay, at this point in history, 2024, everybody knows that those kind of places treat bettas like dirt. Now, the thing that really gets to me is when you get people who, I'm sure they mean well, but they say, I am going to save these bettas. And that's the title of their video. I saved every fish at Walmart. And, okay, guys, by the way, Walmart doesn't even sell fish anymore, so good win there. But say, okay, I saved every fish at Pet Barn. And you go in and they, something happens. They're like, oh, look at all these bettas. Oh, terrible. And they come out with all these fish. They're filming it, so I'm just gonna, do a little bit of deductive reasoning here and think that they bought them. So you go in, you buy fish, you bring them home, and you fix them up. What? You're not saving fish. You are showing a big company that those fish still have monetary value, even when they are dying. And basically, even if you say, can I get those fish for free? They're on their way out. Can I just have them? I have done that before. I've done that out of guilt and just seeing the fish and just begged the managers before. And yes, it's worked a couple times, but any way you're clearing fish off the shelf that is a loss that they clearly don't care about because they're just letting them die, or better, so you're making a purchase. And by the way, when you're buying Betta bowls and you're buying Betta mini tanks made out of plastic that are pieces of crap, and when you're buying like neon lit up Betta glow this and that, all the Betta branded stuff, Betta water, Betta leaves, don't buy them from these big stores. One, total ripoff. It's a crazy ripoff. Number two, you can get a lot of this stuff DIY at home on your own. Watch channels, spend 15 minutes before you get a fish, okay? And you'll find out that like catappa leaves. Oh, I don't have to buy dollar catappa leaves. I can grab a maple leaf outside, or wherever you live, there is something probably that you can use. Likewise, you can make your water the way a Betta wants it with tannins without buying jugs of it. That is one of the most infuriating things. Okay, so back to the storyline. So we saved the Betta, and now the store is going to order more. Right. So the store orders more, and the next YouTuber comes in and says, I'm going to save these bettas. And they save the bettas, and they either buy them or say, I'll take those off your hands, in which case they don't have to throw them away. They pay for trash anyways. Why worry about paying for trash, traumatizing your employees with all the dead fish, which may actually spark a change when all the employees hate the situation and or the customers clearly are already complaining somewhat. So I'm not saying all stores are like this. I'm not saying all these videos are 100% like this. But I'm saying that if you really care about bettas, you will put on a mask in Minecraft, allegedly, a shiesty mask, and you will go in there, you'll take your arm, you'll lock it straight, and you'll just run down the aisle of the Betta tray thing, the Betta display, and you will just put it into a duffel bag, and you'll say, I'm out to the moon, and take the bettas, and they'll take the loss, right? Now, I'm not actually saying you should do that. Don't do that. in Minecraft, allegedly. But this is something that drives me insane, these videos. It's like, it's so clickbaity, it's so self-righteous, and who's to say that these people are equipped to save a betta anyways? Like, how many times did they have to do this? Did they buy a nice betta and, like, maybe a couple that weren't so nice? And then they're like, look at this one after 6 months or 3 weeks or however long it is. I mean, the bottom line is just take good care of your fish. Tell these big stores, no, I don't support what you're doing. Keep your betta in a humane, setup and change their freaking water. Treat them for illness. It is deplorable what you see at a lot of these big box stores. Don't get me wrong. There are really bad practices that need to end, in my opinion. I don't care if it's sentient animals or not. I personally think that fish have feelings, if you want to call them that. I have whole videos on this, if you're curious, on science about it. And essentially, if you're going to sell these living things, just take better care of them. So now, also, let's address: do I have a problem with the betta in a jar thing? Because someone's going to comment, you know what? They live in ponds and they actually like that. No, that's fine. You can keep them in say a gallon jar, or even probably a half gallon for a while. They're fine. Yes, they did evolve to live in small bodies or shallow bodies of water during the warm, dry season. And they'll live like that for a while, and they can gulp air and they'll be fine. Now, the other thing is they're usually too cold because the stores are air conditioned. So, not that that's the end of the world. A lot of bettas historically could handle this. However, check out my video. If you actually care about bettas and you really want to get into this, check out my video on the domestication of bettas as a fish. It goes back 1,200 years. People are keeping them all the way up in the north of Thailand, all the way to the Chinese border in the mountains, among people in Laos and in Thailand and Vietnam. These fish were kept, and they're being kept in bowls. And they were doing fine. Now, these are definitely still tropical or temperate regions, even when you get up in altitude. But yeah, it'll get 65 degrees at night, and they'll survive. But the way we've bred fish with the big fins and the colors and everything, we're not selecting for the sturdy genes that make a fish healthy. That's not how we pick betta genes at farms and breeding operations. It's for beauty and for color and for what sells, right? Interesting, unique, new morphs of bigger fins, bigger traits. And, I think that with the biggest of them, even though they're cold-blooded animals, it's a lot of surface area that they can cool down or heat up quickly. And so that works a lot differently than in the wild when they're a more compact, like plakat style betta with the shorter fins, and they can kind of, close up shop a little bit, scoot down to the bottom of the tank, rustle into some leaves, or, out in the wild, not in the tank, but in the mud, and they can warm up a little bit, or they can go into what's called torpor and slow their everything down in their biology and hang out for a little while. And when it warms back up, they'll be okay if it's gradual and the water parameters and everything are still okay. Now, the other thing is the water quality is not appalling usually. However, even this is something that a lot of bettas can get around, but they can't get around the bacterial waste and high levels of ammonia. That won't build up in the wild because there will be a natural biological filtration going on with the bacteria in the wild. Whereas in a little cup, that's not going to happen. That's going to build up, especially when you take the water and throw it out. If you miss 3 or 4 days, that's worse, because it's not cycled because you were changing it every single day for a while, or every third day, or however often it happens. And then all of a sudden you miss that for a few days, and you can tell the tanks that miss that, the cups that miss that, you can tell which ones it is. They start to grow algae, they start to get debris at the bottom, And if they're growing algae, that means that it has been so long that they've actually started to cycle in a way, because there's algae there to actually start eating the nitrites, ammonia nitrates, which is disconcerting, I'd say, at the least. But guys, stop clicking on these videos. Just, if you need a good betta, get a good betta from a trusted source, either a local shop that does things right, an independent shop, or, find one of the many breeders online, or one of the great, even online retailers. If you don't know of any, I'll be happy to point some out to you. And, you just ask me in the comments and I will let you know. But, Aquatic Arts, Dan's Fish, these are places where I already have discount codes. Moonlight Aquatics. Go to these places. They're importing wild bettas and very healthy fish as well. So I hope that this didn't come off too harsh. I know everybody's heart's in the right place, or at least, their heart and their pocketbook is probably in the right place. But I'm just sick of seeing 4 million views on on these videos about saving bettas, when really it's like incentivizing corporations. And that's true with any fish. You see a fish with dropsy or something and you're like, oh, poor thing, it's floating on its side, I better help it, I'm gonna bring it home, let me have that fish, here's your money. If anything, ignore these places. Don't go to these places. Don't shop there at all if you feel strong about this issue. If you feel a little indifferent about this issue, then, do whatever you want to do. And I know that these places are cheaper sometimes, but other places exist, Amazon and things. Just don't buy it from, other websites that are just other names for the same big chains. Chewy used to be PetSmart, that kind of thing. So do like an iota of research and you'll find out a whole lot. I know that the betta people are the most self-righteous group in the fish hobby. I don't actually mean that. I think every specialist group gets pretty self-righteous. But no, the betta crew can be a little hardcore if you're new, but there'll be someone nice to help you. And if there isn't, come back to me. Clearly I'm not that nice, but I'm here. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Bye. History.